So let's look at the 40-day fast of Jesus, Matthew 4. So Jesus was tempted with many things. Food, save yourself, throw yourself down, the angels will save you, to the point of the devil saying, I'm going to give you all of these things for free in advance, so you won't have to die on the cross, but I'm actually going to give it to you for free for one thing, if you'll just bow your knee. And so today what we're going to look at is how important that bowing of the knee of your thought, your process, your understanding, the nature of who you are and what you'll agree with, how valuable that is. So let's actually go back further. Let's check out Adam and Eve, where it all really began in the first place. The devil, to our biblical knowledge, saw the value of Adam and Eve as their principal authority over the world. And so he knew that if he could get them to worship him, listen to him, agree with him, which means if you agree with the devil, you're not agreeing with God, because there's really only two sides here at this point in time. What is God saying? What is the heart of God? Where is really the tree of life in the moment that God is trying to say, let's take this path back away from selfish desires, away from things that saying, oh, that looks good or that isn't good, and really say, what is God saying? Because when Adam and Eve said, okay, God did say this, but the devil's saying this, and I actually agree with him. That's what it came down to. He agreed with what the devil said in that moment. Adam and Eve had a position of dominion. They were harboring, guarding, naming, and having authority over the animals, the land, the fruits, things of this nature. The devil, on the other hand, did not have that authority. So he came in to supersede them, not by supplanting them or taking them away, but actually getting them to agree with a good idea. That good idea was not the God idea, because God had already established what they could do. So we have to realize in our everyday thought, even in the most simplest things of, do I eat this fruit? Or do I not eat this fruit? Do I help this homeless person? Do I buy that building? Isn't so much of, that's a good idea, that's going to make money, that makes me comfortable, I like this chocolate ice cream over that vanilla ice cream. It's, what is God telling you in the moment? To continue with Adam and Eve and their authority, the devil only needed one thing. He needed one bow, one agreement, one listen, one frame of thought. He, the devil, comes in and says to Adam and Eve, this is what I think God says. Don't you agree with me? Isn't this a really good idea? The devil didn't trick him with showy wings and pitchforks and all that garbage. He said, this is a good thing, the tree of good and evil. They were tricked to believe that good was better than God. And so when they made that agreement with good and not God, they then actually changed the course of history. They changed the course of creation. They actually brought death and sin. Even though the devil was already fallen in his nature, he was then able to seed in them a fallen nature because they agreed with it. And so what I'm telling you is what you think, what you believe, what you act out, even as Jesus was saying in Matthew 5, is that what you think about a woman, whether you lust after her, doesn't matter if you ever physically touched her. You already thought through it and already acted on your thoughts. It is as good as done. And so God is trying to show us in his communication that your thought process is actually more important than your outward process, your heart, your mind, your soul, your spirit. What is going on inside of this created being, which is far more than what's going on physically, touching. Back to the 40-day fast of Jesus. Jesus was offered things in advance. You're hungry. Why don't you make some food? Why don't we see if you're really God and throw yourself off? Now to the kicker. The devil kind of knew why he was there. He knew that most likely God wanted the mountains, the kingdoms, the authorities, the world, the people, the right to rule, because it was lost with Adam and Eve. And so the devil was saying, if you trade with me on heaven's floor of one bow, one worship, one agreement, I'll give it all to you, the whole thing. He says, I'll walk away. I'll give it to you if you worship me. What I want us to realize, the currency of worship, agreement in thought and heart and mind and soul and spirit, is so valuable that on heaven's floors, the devil and God were trading to see over one bow, over one worship, over one thought or one agreement. So what I'm asking you, what is your nature to agree to? Are you agreeing to worship God in your thought process, in your understanding, in your agreement of what you're... So the importance of understanding the currency of worship is plain and simple. Your thoughts. Your thoughts actually shift and change the people around you. So the reality of it is your currency of thought, understanding, belief, and worship is actually affecting the environment around you. So if you and I agree to love each other, to believe the best in each other, to mine the gold out of people and not the crap and the garbage that's on top of all of us, then we'll actually worship God together. We'll actually believe together. We'll actually go beyond the good, which is take care of me and my own, and do the God, which is love all. He said, I'll close it with this. Here's your gold right here. He said, love God and love man. He said that was the highest thing you could ever do. If you fulfill those two things, you will fulfill the commandments. He's saying love. Choose worship in your thought process of love. I'm loving you because God is love. I'm loving you, so therefore I'm worshiping God. That's how you affect the world.